Hey, so usually I like to do videos on Saturday. It's something about Saturday afternoon that just feels good for video making. However, I got an idea and I wanted to do it, and I've been antsy and I get off work early, or clearly doesn't matter tonight because it's later, Wednesdays and Thursdays. So I figured I'd go ahead and make another video today. Um, Monday night when I was doing readings at the bar, I was sitting there just thinking like, man, I really love 9 card spreads. So I made a quick little post on Tumblr, got a few notes on it, and so I decided to make up a video showcasing why I like 9 card spreads and some of the things that you can do with 9 card spreads. Um, Not going to be extensive, not going to be elaborate, just going to be a bunch of shit with 9 card spreads, basically. And even some ways to break up the spread so that you can use it in different and unique ways. So hopefully it'll be interesting, and hopefully we can get something a little bit out of it. Yeah, I have a little setup going on the desk below here, so I will have to rearrange things in a minute or two when I switch over. But until then, let's talk about why I like 9 card spreads. So my cat is right here trying to get in the picture. Let's see if she makes it. No, don't do that. Okay. Um, so I like 9 card spreads. One, because when you're doing in-person readings, I found that they go fairly quick, especially depending on how you do the spread. You don't have, you can read them in combination, rows and combinations. There's cat. You can read card one by one. You can set them up in a structure, and I have a few different structures that I like to use. I think it lends itself well to combining cards in unusual ways, which I really like. And I'll kind of show a little bit in once we look at the cards. And it's fun. And 9 cards, it goes deep. Like 3 cards can go pretty good too, but the 9 cards go a little bit deeper, and they really allow you to dig in, which is the other aspect I really like about them. So they're just a lot of fun. It gives you flexibility. It gives you the ability to just do a lot of different things, and just 9 cards. So a lot of my readings that I like to do tend to be 9 cards. Not so much when I'm writing, because that's a lot of writing. But even then, you still get a lot of really good information. So yeah. Anyway, so let's flip things around. Let's look at some cards. All right. So I've laid out some cards, just the backs right now. This is the Tarot del Fuego. Hi, you can see my hands. All right, and so this is how I usually lay out a 9 card spread. It's literally 3 rows of 3 cards. If I'm doing it in person, I usually lay them out so it's facing the person. And I always like, not always, but most of the time, I tend to like to start at top. So this would be the top, and then I'll lay it out step by step. So in terms of laying out, what can be fun to me is to just do a row at a time and talk about it. I'll usually assign a meaning to a row. So it might be, depending how I lay it out, could be that this row right here is the present moment. So what's going on? How are we dealing with things? What's presently happening? So here, I have no idea what these cards are. I literally just laid them out. So here we got the Magician, the 8 of Wands, and the King of Cups. So it could be right now, oh gosh, someone who, the King of Cups kind of person, could be, I would say, maybe getting a message about their own inner power. So I see the Magician really has a lot going on here, in terms of accessing power and, having all of his tools about him. Or maybe he's finding out that he has more tools to add to his arsenal. Or she, or anybody for that matter. King of Cups is anybody. If I were to look at this in terms of my coworkers in my job, we have a lot of social workers, and I really see the King of Cups as a social worker card. So right now, maybe they've done a lot of work and a lot of stuff coming in, and they got the message that they got the relationship. I don't always view the 8 of Wands as messages, but it comes out a lot for me. Also just a lot of stuff happening at once. Maybe there's a lot of clients, a lot of things going on, and they're really having to access their own inner resources so they can help their clients out. So this just be something that's going on at the moment. That's one way I like to lay it out. In addition, I'll lay it out so that the top row is more goals and aspirations. And so, oh yeah, speaking of inner power, inner authority, there we go, the Emperor. Learning about money, learning about resources, learning how to feel and trust your body more. The Nine of Wands, 8 and 9, that's always fun. This to me really speaks of really trying to reach for like emotional growth. We have a little cup right here going up. So this could be goals and aspirations as it relates to the present moment. And then I'd like to use the bottom row as kind of digging deeper. So what's the root of things? What is the motivation underlying? So if we have, this is the present moment, this is what we're conscious of, this is what we're going after, our aspirations, this then is our underlying motivation, it's the root of things. And they can really be read and commented as a row. I also enjoy taking these cards and I'll lay them out, maybe starting at the top and not starting in the middle, and just be like, tell me about this thing. And so I'll lay out the top 3 cards. And then from there, if I want to get some deeper information, so tell me more about this Nine of Wands. What's going on with the Nine of Wands? I'll lay down the Magician. Say, okay, tell me more about the Page of Pentacles. I'll lay down the Eight of Wands. Tell me more about the Emperor. So I'll lay down the King of Cups. And then it's like, okay, I need something a little bit deeper, and then I'll lay down another row. And so I really like the 9 of card spread because it allows me to dig deeper step by step, row by row. You'd also lay it out if you wanted to create a spread instead of, doing it organically the way I like to do. Actually, before we go into creating spreads, another organic way to do is to lay all the cards out and use it. A Lenormand style reading is another thing I really like to do. So when I do 9-card Lenormand spreads, it's focused around the center card. This is the most important card in the entire spread. This is the center, this is the focus. And so what I'll do is, again, so this is conscious level, this is what we know. This is higher level, so thinking, thoughts, aspirations, and this is the lower level stuff, kind of like we talked about before. But in addition, there's other components of this side, so it would be the left to the camera, right to me. The left side is all about the past, whereas this middle row is all about the present, and the right row is all about the future. So I'll read, so this card is immediately right now, most conscious, most known, most understood, whereas this one is what we understand it as the past, and this is what we understand to be the future. And the same here, so past aspirations, current aspirations, moving into the future, what we're moving towards, past motivations, current motivations, moving forward. And it's really fun to see that because it gives us a really holistic view about what's going on right now. You can even read the corners, which is another Lenormand trick that I really like to do. So at the end of a reading, if I need something, I might go, okay, let's sum this reading up by the Nine of Wands, the Emperor, the Queen of Swords, and the Four of Cups, and how that relates to the Eight of Wands. That really sums up a reading for me. So that's another really good way to do it. It's a very traditional, cartomantic way of reading 9 cards, and it's fun. I enjoy it. So if we were to create spreads out of this, what's really neat is that if I were to create a base spread, it actually would not be 9 cards. My base spread tends to be 5. So I would take these cards out. And I have 2 styles of base spreads using 5 cards. 1, 3 card, even more, is really truly the base of a reading to me. And this can be read as past, present, future. It can be read as the current situation, something you need to know, or be aware of, and some advice, back in one way. You can read this as a story without aligning any positions. So magicians have had to fight hard in order to really defend himself and really hold himself accountable in order to become a kind, understanding person who uses his skills, particularly in the emotional realm. Could be something like that. So you can draw the story between the 3 cards, and then you can add to that. So the way I would do that to form a 9-card spread is I would add if you haven't guessed it already, you might as well. Something, again, a key motivation. So I would start there. And then, sorry, a key aspiration, a key goal, a key underlying motivation to what's going on here. That's how I like to do my 5-card spreads. Then what I would do is you can add 4 more cards to add more information. Now, I tend to just stick with the 5 when I do that, but these 4 cards are really great because you can really align different ideas and different components of what you want to a 5-card reading. So I can imagine if you want to split 9 cards up, you can split it into the 5-card cross, and then you can add these extra pieces. You could, if you want to bring it all together, you could read it as, this is the important part. Then you read the line. Then you read the line. So the columns versus just the rows, the way we lay them out. So many ways to lay out spreads, but I really like this combination because it adds so much information. Just really lets you play with the cards, play with their positions. Gives you a really traditional way of laying out cards, so you don't have to necessarily come up with a spread the entire time or all the time, which I don't actually like doing. I tend to like just laying cards out and seeing where I go, where it guides me. And the best way to do it to me is to start either with 5 cards and go into 9 cards, or to just lay out 9 cards straight up and really work these fairly traditional ways of cardmantic readings. So I really like 9-card spreads. They give us a lot of options and just good things to do and good ways to read. So get a lot out of them, and I hope that gives us some ideas, give you guys some ideas on ways you can use 9-card spreads. I'm going to switch back up and chat for another minute, and then I think we'll be ready to go. Alright, so we're back. So I hope you liked that quick little look at 9-card spreads and why I like them. I don't know if that explained it all, but I tried. So to sum up what I really like about 9-card spreads, they go deep, they're fairly quick, especially when doing in-person readings. Online readings or written readings, not so quick. But still, they dig deep. You can organize them in really traditional ways, or you can use the 9 cards to create like really specific positions and spreads. And for me, the base of them is always going to be a 3-card reading, then a 5-card reading, then the 9-card reading. I just really appreciate about them. It's literally everything is built up, and to me, all the important points get hit with 9 cards. Yeah, it's really fun to do. You can really combine meanings in ways that I don't. It's possible, clearly it's possible in any spread. But this really gives me, I find, the freedom to combine my meanings and make my readings a little more interactive, especially because I'm not a huge spread maker. I did recently design on a 9-card spread where I took the technique I talked about with the 3 cards. So you tell the story with the 3 cards. I designated a row. Each row had a specific thing. So the first row was, this is my WTF spread, so we'll see if I end up sharing this later. So literally the first row is like, what the fuck is happening? The second row is, what the fuck is coming? And the third row is, just give me some advice. What the fuck can I do? And that's why it's the WTF spread. Everything is what the fuck. But it's beautiful because the 9 cards really gives me space to have essentially a mini 3-card reading at each level. And I think that, again, it's just so unique and so flexible. And I need my spreads to be flexible. And, I just love 9-card readings. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. And if you have any questions about the kind of spreads that I like, or how I use my 9 cards, or any other kind of spread that I do, feel free to ask. I can talk more about 5 cards, and I can talk more about 3 cards later. Either way, I think it'd be fun. And clearly I should have started more simple with my 3 cards, but don't care. 9 cards is where it's at. That's my basic reading. I tend to scale down or up from there. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, leave a comment, reblog this post, so it'll be on Tumblr and on YouTube. Or, heck, reblog it and let me know what you think. What is your favorite kind of spread? What do you really like to do? If you like 9 cards, why do you like them? If you prefer another number, why do you prefer the other number? I'd love to hear what people think. Alright, thanks so much. I hope you have a great night. I'm going to finish this up, then head to bed. Alright, talk to you later. Bye.